Hello everyone, my name is Tianyu, and it is also a great honor to represent other authors, Dr. Gao, Dr. Song, and Dr. Xiao here to introduce our work, leaking arbitrarily many secrets and out of many proofs and applications to RingCT protocols. In the beginning, let me briefly introduce how a transaction is executed in the current cryptocurrency system based on the blockchain. As shown in the figure below, a user, Alice, wants to issue a transaction to transfer some money to Carol. She needs to use her private key to generate a digital signature to make the transaction valid. Then Bob, another node in the network, needs to check the validity of this transaction by verifying the signature with Alice's public key. However, in most of the current cryptocurrency systems, the transaction is directly sent to Bob and then recorded in plain text on the ledger if it passes the verification. Inevitably, this property compromises the privacy of the users. Therefore, we try to amend this problem by designing new private cryptocurrency systems based on some existing cryptographic tools. So generally, a ring signature confidential transaction scheme can fulfill this requirement. And there are two main targets in this scheme. The first is confidentiality. This target guarantees that, except for Alice and Carol, no other nodes in the network can learn how many coins are transferred in this transaction. And this target is achieved by two techniques. The balance proof, ensuring that the input amount is equal to the output amount. And the range proof, ensuring all amounts in the transaction lie in the valid range. For the second target, anonymity, it requires no one to know who sent the money in the transaction except Alice and Carol. This target is realized by ring signature or coin mixing schemes. Both of them try to hide Alice among many other users. Next, let me show you more about the ring signature scheme. So current anonymous cryptocurrencies such as Monero apply ring signatures with only one real signer. This is done by a one out of many proof, which convinces the verifier that the transaction is signed by one of the ring members, while the verifier cannot know exactly which one is the real signer. However, this ring signature scheme has some problems in practice. In an UTXO-based cryptocurrency system, a user may have multiple UTXO accounts, and he is allowed to use his money in several accounts to pay one transaction. That means that a transaction may need to be signed by multiple times. Clearly, the above-mentioned ring signature cannot solve this case, since it only allows one real signer in the ring. Although some solutions have been given up by now, their basic idea is the same, just repeating the ring signature algorithm for every account. Inevitably, this leads to low efficiency and weak anonymity in practice. So to solve this problem, we propose a new proof scheme named any out of many proofs in our work, allowing the prover to show that he knows some secrets. Concretely, the prover needs to show that he knows a binary vector, the bit here, with the bit 1, indicating that the corresponding public key is from the real signer, while the verifier can learn nothing about the positions, and moreover, the number of the bits 1 here. And this is done by zero-knowledge proofs. There are two main observations to allow us to implement such proof. The first is to use an amortization technique. As shown in the left figure, each public key needs to multiply with a bit bi. in the binary vector. And the obtained result is pk1 times pk3. Here, we regard them as the commitment of private keys to keep consistent with the zero-knowledge proofs we use. However, this simple constraint is not secure because it only ensures the prover knows the secret of the sum sk1 plus sk3 instead of each of them. As shown in the right equation, the prover needs to show the equality between the right-hand side, the left-hand side, a product of 5 exponentiations, pki to the power of bi, with I from 1 to 5. And the right-hand side, the commitment of sk1 and sk3, because only the pk1 and pk3 have the power of bit 1, while a malicious prover can only compute the commitment on the right-hand side directly with the sum of sk1 and sk3, instead of knowing each of them. So to solve this, an extra challenge y is used. For each bit bi, we multiply it with y to the power of I. Thus, in our example, the verifier finally convinces of the secret sk1 times y21 plus sk3 times 123. We highlight the challenge y in red, and the example is modified accordingly. Since the challenge y is generated by the verifier, he can ensure that the prover cannot forge such value unless he knows sk1 and sk3. The second observation is that the number of the real signer, that is, the 1 bit, can be hidden from the verifier. This observation leads to 2 advantages. First, the relation to be proved is simplified because now the prover can use the binary proof for the vector B instead of a range proof. Second, the hiding K improves the anonymity of the ring. To the verifier, there is no difference between a ring with 1 real signer and a ring with multiple real signers. We also want to highlight that this optimization will not raise security concerns under the RingCT scenario. This is because although the prover can create a signature with no signer, just let the vector B equal to 0 everywhere, guaranteed by the balanced proofs and range proofs we used before. The prover cannot transfer any money. What's more, he has to pay the transaction fee as well. So it is both uneconomic and meaningless to implement such an attack. The above is one of the main contributions in our paper. Besides, we have also done other work, including proposing a generic model for quadratic relation based on the bulletproof's compression technique. And this allows us to compress any out of many proofs to logarithmic size. At last, we build an efficient RingCT protocol based on our new proof scheme, and a trapdoorless accumulator is also used to reduce the blockchain state size. We also build a prototype of our RingCT protocol and give an evaluation of its performance. For the proof size, our scheme has the smallest one among existing schemes, such as OmniRing. For the running time of our any out of many proofs, its proving time is the fastest, and its verification time is slightly slower than ACF21. In conclusion, we design a RingCT protocol with higher anonymity, smaller proof size, and a lower burden for system nodes. Besides improving the existing anonymous cryptocurrency systems, our work can also be applied to other scenarios, such as ring signature among multiple trustless parties or anonymous e-voting. Okay, that's all. Thanks for your listening.
Thank you. Questions? Okay. So if not, let's thank the speaker again and all the speakers of this session.
Thank you.